Hello students, in this video we are going to discuss about the separation techniques, that is the separating the components of mixture. As we have learned that most of the natural substances are not chemically pure. We come across the different type of mixtures and we have studied about the properties of mixture. So the different methods of separation are used to get the individual components from a mixture. And it is very familiar in our day-to-day life, certain methods of separation. That is, heterogeneous mixtures can be separated into their respective constitute by simple physical methods like hand picking, sieving, filtration that actually we use in our day-to-day life. But some special techniques have been used to separate the components of a mixture that we need to discuss here. So let us discuss the different techniques of separation in this video. The first one is evaporation. That is actually a very common method and we could able to see such type of a separation method in our day-to-day life also. Like separation of a volatile component, that is a solvent, from its non-volatile solute can be separated by a method which is called as evaporation. Now let us discuss what is volatile component. The component which vaporizes. If the solvent is volatile in nature and the solute which is non-volatile, that means which will not get vaporized. The example like if we take a salt solution that you can see in the picture, when we have the salt solution, if we want to separate the salt from the water that is in the salt solution, what method is preferred? Because here being water as a volatile component, because we know that water can form vapors, but the salt which is here, the solute, is non-volatile, that means which is not vaporizes. For this technique we will be using, that is evaporation technique. So the separation of salt from the salt solution can be done by the evaporation. That means if we heat the content here, the water which is being volatile get vaporized, that means it form vapors and it will leave the beaker, and at the end we can see that the salt remains at the bottom of the beaker. That means we could able to separate the water and the salt from the salt solution by the method called as evaporation, because here evaporation process is going on. And the same way we can separate the colored components, that is the dye, from the blue or black ink. That is a separation of colored component, the dye from the ink can be done by this technique. That is, when we keep a watch glass that is having the ink on the mouth of the beaker as it is shown in the figure. You can see here there is a beaker and the ink which is taken in the watch glass and it is kept over the mouth of the beaker, and the water is taken in the beaker and it is boiled. Thus, when we boil the water which is in the beaker, then we can observe that the water vapors comes from the ink, that is the volatile component get vaporizes, and what is remain in the watch glass, that is the non-volatile solute, that is the colored component, that is the dye of the ink is remains on the watch glass. So from this we can separate the volatile component from its non-volatile solute. The next technique in the separation is the centrifugation. Nowadays we get full cream, toned and double toned varieties of milk that is available in the market in the form of packets of milk. So we could have seen that here the cream that is separated from the milk by a technique that is called as a centrifugation technique. Because if the particles, that is the solid particles in the liquid, if it is very small, Definitely, it will pass through the filter paper. In such condition, the filtration technique cannot be used. So, such type of mixtures can be separated by centrifugation. Let us see what is the principle behind the centrifugation, that is separation of components based on the difference in the density under the gravitational force. That is if the components have differences in the density, then this technique is used. It is done by a machine which is called as a centrifuging machine. Centrifugation is done by the machine which is called as centrifuging machine as shown in the figure. Most probably it will be available in the laboratories, and even in the school laboratories we could able to see such machine. If it is not available in the school also, you could do this activity at home by using a milk churner used in the kitchen. That is the use of centrifugation technique which we done at the home in the kitchen by the milk churner. During this process, the denser particles are forced to the bottom and the lighter particles stay at the top when it's spun rapidly. It is one of the quite familiar to us because we could able to see the same procedure which takes place in the washing machine, because when we keep the wet cloth in the machine and it was spun with rapidly, what we could see that the denser one, that is the cloth, will be forced at the bottom, and the lighter particle, that is the water content, what it is there in that, it will be stay at the top, and what we could see that the water will get removed from it. So the same process is going on in this machine, that is centrifugation machine. It is used for separating the cream from the milk, and it is most familiar in the diagnostic laboratories. That is, in the diagnostic laboratory, that is for the separation of denser particles present in the blood, urine, etc. by performing the test. And as I told you, it is used for separating the cream from the milk. Next technique is quite familiar to us, that is filtration. Definitely, when the components are of different size, that means if one of the component is soluble and the other component is insoluble, in that case filtration technique is used. So the separation of components based on the difference in the solubility. So we could able to separate the particles, like sand particles can be separated from the water by using the technique called as filtration. So filtration can be done in order to separate the mixture in which the components have differences in the solubility. The next technique is called as separating funnel. It is used for the separation of two immiscible liquids. Now, what is meant by immiscible? That means which not mixes. The example, oil and water combination. We can see that oil and water, they will not mix us with each other. That is called as immiscible liquid. So, how we separate the two components, that is immiscible, by using a technique or by using a separating funnel. Now, a separating funnel, as it is shown in the figure, in this funnel, when we keep the mixture having two immiscible liquids, as it forms the two separate layer, so we could able to easily separate the bottom layer by using this stopcock. When you open this stopcock, the lower level water, that is actually here it will moves out, and we could able to separate it. That is to separate the mixture of oil and water, we can use this. And in the extraction of iron from its ore, the lighter slag is removed from the top by this method to leave the molten iron at the bottom of the furnace. So this is the principle, is that immiscible liquids separate out in the layers depending upon their density. Next is the technique called as sublimation. Sublimation, it is used for the separation of sublimable volatile component from non-sublimable component. That means the substance which have the tendency, that is a solid substance, when it get directly converted into the gaseous state, that process is called as sublimation. So the substance which can sublimize, that means which can directly convert it into the gas, such type of component can be separated by sublimation. So this technique is done by using this arrangement. Now whichever the solids can sublimate, that is ammonium chloride. Ammonium chloride, it can sublimate the naphthalene and anthracene. These are the some of the compound which can directly converted from solid state to the gaseous state. So this technique is called as sublimation. Next technique is called as chromatography. Chromatography, it is based on the difference in the rate at which the components of mixture move through a porous medium. That is, like we mix the two color ink, and when we spot it on this paper, that is called as a chromatographic paper, and when we hang it in the particle solvent, what we could able to see that as the medium is porous, the liquid rises, and due to the difference in the rate at which the component of mixture move, so we could able to separate the different color on the paper. So that technique is called as chromatographic technique. You'll be going to learn in detail in the higher classes related to chromatography. So this technique is used to separate color in a dye, pigment from the natural colors, and even the drugs from the blood can be separated by this technique. Next is distillation. Distillation is the method used for the separation of components of a mixture containing two miscible liquids that boils without decomposition and have a sufficient difference in the boiling point. So that means if the two component, like I'm taking as A and B component, and both the components are actually have a difference, have a sufficient difference in their boiling point, and they will vaporize without being decomposition. That means without decomposing, it can vaporize, and there is enough difference in their boiling point, then the distillation technique is used. The fractional distillation method is used, that is in the case of separation of two or more miscible component where the difference in their boiling point is less than 25 Kelvin. As just we have discussed about distillation, that is the separation of two miscible liquids in which there is enough difference in the boiling point. But if the boiling point of the component is very less, that is less than 25 Kelvin, in such a case fractional distillation method is used. Example, separation of gases from the air, fractional distillation of petroleum. This is all can be done by the fractional distillation method. The last one is crystallization. That is a separation of pure solid in the form of crystals. That can be done by crystallization. Example, purification of salt that we get from the seawater, because the seawater contains different type of salts, impurities and all. So how we can done the purification of the salt? That is by the crystallization technique. And the separation of crystals of alum, that is called as Fitzgerald, from the impure samples can also be done by the method called as crystallization. So these are the certain methods of separation techniques. So this is all about this video. Have a nice day.